Before I get into this video is for my real ones, man. This is for the ones that get it. If you don't get it, it's going to be hard for you to comprehend. And just know this video gets deep and we're talking about real life ish, okay? My cup of tea, all right? Hi! Welcome back to the channel. And thank you so much for clicking on my video. I have a special treat for you today, and I'm just so excited to introduce stuff like this to the channel because this is my type of, stuff like I said before. Disclaimer before we get into the story, okay, everything that happened. Since we are talking, okay, I know I titled this like, I took a special treat. I specifically took a 50 milligram edible of THC, okay? I want to let you guys know that I am of the legal age to take this. I am in a place where it's completely legal and I got it from somewhere that sells it legally, okay? Before anyone, starts talking, all right? Um, Another disclaimer, if you don't know already, am a very spiritual person, okay? And I look at a lot of these substances, so marijuana, shrooms. I don't know if saying this is gonna like get me banned, but like, the plant medicines of the earth, okay? I look at a lot of these as very spiritual substances, okay? Not everybody looks at it like that. And a lot of people just abuse these substances. I am not one of those people, okay? I am somebody that is looking to have profound experiences and to always elevate myself. So that is a huge disclaimer before we get into this because it really plays a part in how all of this turned out and how I was able to even experience this, okay? Let's jump right into it. So, I, get some of this special treats, right? And they were like 50 milligrams a piece. I am super like, I just take a bite and I'm good. I never even take a lot or anything. I'm very good at just a little bit goes a long way and I can have a great time and just feel amazing. And whatever I'm trying to get, I'm able to get, right? I'm taking, half at sometimes of this and little by little, and it just wasn't giving, okay? I'm like, maybe this isn't that strong. I don't really know what's wrong with this. Like, so one day I'm like, let me just take the whole thing, okay? And I know for some people, especially like the people that really are like deep into this edible stuff, 50 milligrams is nothing. Okay. There's people that's taken like 100, 200, 250, like 300 crazy amounts and have been completely out of their mind. Okay. But for me, in my opinion, this felt like 100. Okay. This was like a lot for me. Okay. So I take it, things are going well. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, oh, I love this. This feels like normal. But the problem was, I had just taken it. Okay. So I'm like, God, I literally just took it. I'm already feeling like this. So, and this is definitely nowhere near over. So I was getting a little scared. Okay. So, I'm just chilling, mind my own business. And things start turning up way up a notch, okay, to the point where I'm getting scared. I never get scared, okay? I am very fearless when it comes to these things, very like, especially because I'm so little by little, like I do things little by little. I have such like I know what it's like, right? I've experienced it. I know what certain things are like, blah 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 blah. I've done things in my past where it wasn't the smartest, so I've been in some bad situations when it comes to these things. But this time, I don't know. I feel like I was feeling some stuff I have never felt before, okay? Like my world is starting, everything that I've known is starting to change. And it's like, getting scary, okay? So I call my boyfriend. I'm like, hey, is there any way you can come over? This is like getting scary. I don't know like where this is going. He's like, yeah, I can be there, in about 3 hours. Okay, I mean, that doesn't really help me at all, but whatever. Bye. So I accept that I'm completely alone in this, all right? Completely. And I'm freaking out, okay? I'm like to the point I'm elevated, to the point where I'm freaking the frick out and I'm like, my heart's racing. If you haven't done it before, when you take a good amount of it, it's like makes you sweat, your heart's racing, you're kind of like freaking out. You're like breathe in and out all hard and it sucks. Okay. So I'm like, let me just go and sit on my balcony. Let me just sit on my balcony. That will make everything okay. So I sit on my balcony and I'm like way in another planet. Okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I'm like freaking out. And then I eventually, because I'm me, I tell myself, I'm like, I am literally just a point of consciousness. Literally. I'm literally not even a person. Like, I'm literally just a point of consciousness, and I'm literally God playing itself, right? Like, I'm literally just a part of God that is a part of this whole thing, and I'm just one part of it, one perspective, right? So the second that I say this and I relax into that, everything shifts, okay? It's like I was coming up and the come up was so bad, but then I finally relaxed into it. I'm like, okay, like I can kind of get with this. Like it is kind of like really intense and a lot. My entire body feels it, but it is what it is. Like I'm here for it. So I'm sitting there and I make video diaries. Okay. I just am obsessed with making video diaries. So I was making one and I'm just talking to myself and I'm like, yeah, this is just like getting crazy. And I'm looking at myself and I'm just so like, this is how I looked. I'm like, that was so hideous. I can't. My face is like down and my eyes are like this. And I'm just looking at myself and I'm like, I remember this. Like, I remember being in this moment, okay, of being extremely out of my mind and looking at myself like this. And I was like, oh, my entire body could feel it, my spirit could feel it, everything could feel it. I'm just completely in another world. And I'm looking at myself like, I remember this. I remember this. And then it was like, I came back. Like it was one of those moments. Like I said, if you know, you know, because I know like if you haven't, watch DMT trip reports. DMT is a chemical that they say that we all have it inside of us and it's released when you are born and it's released when you die. It's a substance that you can take and a lot of people that take it say that they are like I mean it's way more intense than this but they're like shot out of their body and they're in a different place and they're there and they're like, "Oh my god, like I have been here before." Okay? Because this universe is freaking crazy. So it was one of those moments like oh my god, I have been here before. And then it was like my thoughts became so loud, like, oh my God, I have been here before. Like, I came back. I cannot believe I came back. And then I was like, I always do this. Like, I always do this. I'm like living my life, I'm being normal. And then I come back here and I realize I'm like, oh my God, duh. Like, all of this is here. And I always forget that it's here. And then I come back and I'm so surprised every time. And I do it every time. Like, it was like crazy. It's even talking about it, it's so crazy because it's like, you're never gonna know what I'm even saying until you're in a moment like this. I don't know when you'll be in a moment like this or if it's ever gonna happen or whatever, but I'm just explaining my story, man. All I know is that this was one of those very coming back to your true reality moments, like a true self moment, okay? So I'm like, oh my God. And then it was like I had been back here, like in this space I was in one time in this life. And I remember it was I was like 16, okay? Who I don't even know what I was doing, but I was like 16. I had hit someone's pen that had the same stuff in it, and it had me completely out of my mind, just how I was this time completely forgot that this even happened. And it's weird. It's like you become like face to face with your spirit. I don't know how to describe it. It's like crazy. It's like you're freaking one with your spirit and you're just like, oh my God, like, hey girl, like, oh my God, hey bestie, like we came back. We're here again. Like, hey, how you doing? You know, it's freaking crazy. Anyways, I was saying that like I had been in this space one time in this life, but I have done this in so many lives. Like, it's not even funny. Like, so many of my past lives, or I don't know, other people's lives, I don't know what's going on. I don't know the universe. It's freaking crazy. But it's like I have done this same thing so many times and I forget every time. And it's like I come back and it's like, oh my God, duh. Like, this is all here and it's been here. And this is like the meaning of life. This is like the essence of life. We'll get into it. Okay. So I'm sitting there on my balcony. I'm having all these realizations. I'm looking around. I'm like, wow, this is like freaking crazy. Like, this is like real reality. I don't know. It's like I entered real reality, and you don't think that you think that this is all real until you like take certain substances, or maybe you're like extremely enlightened and really deep in your meditation experience, and you realize it's not. You know, especially when you are able to shift into different versions of this that feel so much more real and so much more meaningful. Okay, I'm on my balcony and I had my cat come out on my balcony, and my cat's just like going back and forth. And I'm like, I have literally done this so many times. Like, it's me. I'm on my balcony. Like, whatever, like, you know, let's say it's like the same thing, but it was like in a different life. Like, maybe I was in like a castle on a balcony, or I was in another apartment on a balcony, or I was on freaking in a house on a balcony. Like, I've done this so many times where it was me on a balcony, and it was like this freaking cat, like the same cat. Okay. Let me just show you guys my cat. This freaking cat. Okay, like, this same cat and I keep coming together in every life. If you felt this way about a pet, please tell me, because I feel like I'm insane when I talk like this. Me and this cat have spent so many lifetimes together, it's not even funny, okay? And I realized this in this state. Like, she always comes back, all right? Every time. And it's like me, her, in this freaking balcony. It's like every time mind you, every time I go out on my balcony in general, she always comes with me. Like, this cat is obsessed with me. When I met her, it was like she was waiting for me. There's like, I can make a whole video about just like the spiritual connection I have with my cat. But anyways, I'm realizing like, bro, I have been with this freaking cat in like thousands of lifetimes. Like, it's insane. Like, we are like life partners. I don't know why or what or what's going on. So I'm like just having all these realizations. This is where it gets deep. So then I'm looking at life, right? I'm looking at this cat, I'm looking at nature, I'm looking at everything, I'm looking at me. And the me that I was in this moment was not me at all. It was like the true me, the me that all of us are connected to, okay? Like, the me, it's like it was so neutral. I don't know how to like even explain it. It was so neutral. It was like the me that knew all of this like has a purpose, and all of this has such meaning. And it was like the me that sees life as just so innocent and so just there to be experienced. Okay. And everything was good. You know, there was no worry, there was none of any of that I had before, you know. So I'm just looking at just how everything is, and I'm like, this is the meaning of life. This is the reason why we're all here. We are here for an experience. And it's like every single moment, okay? Every moment is so divine. That's the only way I can put it. I feel like I'm so dramatic. I'm sorry. Just a dramatic person, but this is like, okay, I am just fully in this. Like, every moment is so divine, you don't even realize it or see it or know it or understand it or can comprehend it. Okay. So I realize how every moment is super divine, and every moment has been written literally. Like, it was literally like the awareness. Okay. Think about you're watching a movie, right? You're like, you see the people playing in the movie. It's like the awareness of being in that movie and you were playing that role. And then you like kind of stop playing that role and like you kind of look from the outside and you're like, oh yeah, like yeah, duh. Like it's freaking weird. It's like you were before you came here, and this is, I'm not saying this is how it is. This is just kind of what I'm grasping from this experience. It was like before you came here, before or whatever, maybe you're just connected to a higher source of intelligence or whatever. But before you came here, whatever you did, it was like somebody came and was like, okay, this is what you're gonna do, this is how you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna live here, you're gonna do this, you're gonna marry so and so. Like you, everything is like written out, right? And then you, it's like you then have the free will to make choices within all of that, you know. But a lot of stuff it's like set in stone. And I feel like this kind of has to do with like soul contracts too, but that's a whole different video. Anyways, and it was like everything that you're doing is like creating reality. Like it's like every moment, every like any like you know, you see two paths. Whatever path you chose to go down, it was like you were the one that has now I feel like I sound insane. You were the one that has now contributed this like to reality, okay? So it's like you lived many lives, right? I fully believe that. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. But you lived many lives, you've reincarnated, done all that, right? And it's like every time you come back, you're here to experience again or learn more or whatever purpose you have, right? But it's like every single thing that you're doing is directly affecting and contributing to the reality around you. Like every single one of us has an effect on how all of this is, literally, okay? Someone made all of this and now I'm experiencing it, okay? Literally everything that I'm looking at, I someone else made it and now I'm experiencing it. That is like what reality is. It's creation, okay? We're all creating at all times. Even like without you thinking about it, you're creating, you're contributing, okay? And that in turn is what makes this universe go round and expand, okay? So that was a big realization. And then, you know, I you know, end up stepping inside from my balcony. I tell this all to my boyfriend, every single thing that I'm experiencing. And it was weird because while I'm talking to him, it was the most eerie feeling. It's very eerie of the fact that I have done that before. Like all of this I have done before so many times. Like it was weird. It's like I've just done different versions of it. Now this is like a new version of it. And it's like just the knowing of you've done all of this before, and then it's like everything that you're going to do has been written, and then you're just kind of like doing it as it was written. Like it's freaking weird. It's like very eerie. And I'm like, this is why we are disconnected from this part of reality, because if we were aware of all of this on a normal basis, we would not be able to live our lives. That's it. You cannot go about your life normally when you are in full awareness that it was all written out. Literally, every single thing that I'm saying right now was written out, and now I'm just playing it out and acting it out and like contributing this and putting this in reality. It's freaking weird, okay? So I had like that feeling. And then, you know, just when it comes to like the visuals of it, and just everything that I was experiencing, it was like the 3D was all layered on top of each other. It was like you could see the layers on top of each other, and then the cats are like walking around and I'm able to see how they're interacting with reality. It's like reality itself is literally constantly new, constantly changing, constantly being manipulated, you know, constantly. It's like we're constantly interacting with it. Okay. Even me just doing this, like that is me interacting with reality. Okay. And everything in between, all of the space is the essence of reality. And we are contributing to it and creating it more and like changing it. It's like a whole thing. The moral of the story, because I know I've been all over the place and I've been deep and up and down and all that, right? The moral of the story, everything is divinely planned. Okay? Everything. Everything. Even like the worst ish to ever happen on this earth. It's like, why? Okay. The worst stuff was divinely written and planned and is playing out exactly as it should. And that goes for everything. Okay. Playing out exactly as it should. And everything is always for our own good. And everything is just about like living this physical experience that we have been so blessed with, okay? And giving back to God, by being present, by being fully immersed in our reality, by co creating our reality, by making art, making music, making whatever, like whatever we can do, okay? That is the essence of life. That is the meaning of life, okay? Every single moment matters. And the present moment is the only thing that exists, okay? So I feel like my head is spinning after that, okay? But that's all I have for now. If there was something I forget, because this did happen a little bit ago, there was something that I forgot to add, I will put it in while I'm editing it. But I hope you got something from this video. I hope this opened your mind or enlightened you or taught you something. And if you are somebody that, is experienced with substances or maybe even things more powerful, and you want to put your experiences on in the comments, please let me know. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And if somebody has maybe even felt the same way that I have, it would just be the cherry on top to all of this. So thank you so much for watching my video. I love you so much. Peace, love, blessings. Bye.